You are not ready for a manager, and I'm going to tell you why. What's up, guys? AC Evan here with Artist Collective, and we are here transforming artists into artistpreneurs by helping them build profitable music businesses from stuff that they love to do. So if that sounds like you, make sure you smash that subscribe button, stick around. Every single week we are dropping videos to help you build that music business that you can live on for the rest of your life. In today's video, I want to talk to you about a conversation that I feel like I have every single day in DMs on my Instagram, at networking events, just artists that I connect with who seem very lost in their careers, and I felt like this is knowledge that I needed to share with all of you. And that conversation goes a little bit like this. I am looking for an artist manager. I get this all the time. They want a manager to help connect the dots and dial in the things that they don't really know, the things that they don't know what they don't know, right? And they feel like an artist manager is going to help that. They see these giant rappers and artists with their managers connecting the dots. They are envisioning people like Scooter Braun just coming in, scooping them up and taking them to stardom. But it doesn't exactly work like that, especially in the independent community. And what I hate to see is artists waiting for that white knight to come in and connect the dots for them when they have all of the potential needed to do it themselves. So I'm going to give you my top 3 reasons why I think you are not ready for a manager yet, but how you can focus and build the right things to get you to that level where if a manager does find you, discover you, that you have all the pieces in place. So make sure you watch till the very end. I'll be dropping exactly the things I think you should do to help you get to that level, okay? So number 1 is you're not ready for a manager because you do not have a clear brand. And what I mean by that is not a fancy logo or a website with a nice color scheme or even an artist name. What I mean by a brand is you don't have a clear mission statement. Why are you doing this? What's your business plan? What is the end goal for you? If I'm a manager, and I used to be a manager for many, many years, I managed producers, I managed rappers, I managed 9-piece bands, and it all came down to the same thing. When I would ask them why they're doing what they're doing, they couldn't tell me. And I was a young manager, I was like, I'm just gonna do this anyway. When that happens, and they don't know why they're doing, and there's some disconnect there, what happens is it ends up failing in the end. The artist gets bored. Their true purpose was actually just to get rich and famous, and when money and fame doesn't come fast enough, they tend to fall out and just move on to the next thing. So as a former manager, I'll tell you this, you need to get clear on your why. And I say this, that is really what your brand is. What is your mission? Why are you doing this in the long run? Are you just trying to inspire others? Are you trying to get them through a hard time with your music, with your creativity? Get clear on that. And a great exercise I use with all of my coaching clients is this. What are your 5 core values? What drives you? What gets you out of bed in the morning? If you can get clear on your core values, you can get clear on why you're doing what you're doing, you actually have more of a brand than you would if you just went straight to getting a logo and a website. Okay, here's an exercise. Think about the happiest times in your life, the proudest times in your life, and the most fulfilled times in your life. Journal those. Who are you with? What are you doing? What about them made you happy, proud, fulfilled? If you can reflect on those, you can get closer to finding those core values. There's a giant list of core values on the internet that you can find. Narrow it down to 5. When you have that, you can then go and write a mission statement. I am looking to inspire others with creativity. That's a generic one, but it's so much closer than a lot of you even have. Because as I said, as a manager, if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, you might give up. You might just stop doing what you're doing because you're not driven. You don't have a clear path. So figure out that brand, figure out that why before you even start asking a manager. Because if you're just out here for the money, for the fame, it's gonna fall flat on your face because you're gonna give up. That money and that fame doesn't always come as fast as you want. You need to get clear on that. So brings me to my second thing. The second reason you are not ready for a manager yet is because you do not have consistent content. And what I mean by that is not that I need you to post every single day, but you need to be consistent. As a manager, it is not my job to create a content schedule for you. It's not my job to hold the camera every single time. It's my job to paint your vision. But if you do not have a vision yet, I have nothing to paint. So how, again, going back to that brand, why are you doing what you're doing? Paint that vision with content. Tell your audience why you're doing what you're doing by showing them. Let's focus on just 3 platforms for you. You might be overwhelmed, like, there's so many platforms. I don't know where to go in terms of content. Just show your authentic self and choose 3, okay? Let's say YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Great. Only focus on creating content that showcases your why, that showcases your true talent, and double down on that, okay? If you can do that and you can go to a manager and you can say, I've got a 30-day content calendar already made. I've already started doing it. Here's my examples. If I was a manager, I'd be blown away. You're like, I already have my exact whys. I've got my mission statement. I've got a clear brand and a clear message, and the content tells that story perfectly. I am that much closer to saying, yes, let's do this. You're driven, you know what you want. I can help paint that vision further. So figure out that content schedule. Don't just post content around your releases. This is an ongoing thing, okay? This brings me to my third and final reason that I don't think you're ready for a manager yet, and I think it's one of the more obvious ones. That's why I left it for the last one, and that is you're not ready for a manager because you have no revenue, okay? A manager has nothing to manage if you have nothing coming in. So let me paint an analogy for you, okay? First of all, manager makes typically anywhere between 10% and 25%. That's industry standard. So let's just call it a 15%. Manager comes in, they make 15%. If you're making $100,000 with your music, manager's typically walking away with only $15,000. That's not enough to live on typically. So that manager probably has other jobs. They probably are managing other artists. They're doing other things to move the needle in their own business. So that's if you're making 100K. A lot of you out there, a lot of people that I speak with are nowhere close to making that. That means the manager is making essentially nothing. So here comes my analogy. Let's say you apply for a job at a bank, okay? You walk in, you're definitely qualified, you're excited about the job, and the bank says, you know what, I want to hire you. But here's the thing. We don't really have a building yet. We're not really sure who our customers are or like what the end goal really is, and we have no way to make money. So this is what we're offering. You can work with us for several years, put in a whole bunch of work, and we might have enough money to pay you what you're worth years from now. Are you going to take that job? Probably not. So this is what you're expecting a manager to do. Essentially, you're saying, I don't have anything happening over here. I need you to make it happen, and I'll give you 15%. That just is bonkers. So build that first. Build that foundation. Figure out why you're doing what you're doing, what that brand really looks like. Figure out how you're going to tell that story through content and start making money. And that's past streams. It's past royalties and making money as a traditional musician. How else are you driving revenue? Maybe you're selling beats. Maybe you're a coach. Maybe you're selling your services at a high-ticket event. Figure out what that means for your music business so that you can get a manager excited. If I was a manager and you came to me with all 3 of those things, I would definitely listen. So this is what I want you to do. You need to stop DMing random people on Instagram, telling them to manage you and having no plan. You've got no music up. You've got no content. You have no reason why you're doing what you're doing. I'm asking some of you on Instagram, why do you think you need a manager? And you tell me, my talent is amazing. That's great. Talent is the bare minimum for being a musician nowadays. What else you got to offer? I've got tons of people with amazing talent. What else do you have to offer? So figure out what those 3 things are, how you can really move the needle in your own business. And if you don't know, if you're just completely lost, that's what companies like my company, Artist Collective, can help you do. So if you have more questions, you want to dial that in together, I want you to definitely hit that subscribe button. Stick around. We've got free content, free videos dropping every single week. But if you want some more information, head over to our website, artistcollect.com, and see what we have to offer for artists like you who are ready to transform into artistpreneurs.